Micron is turning billions of dollars in U.S. investments into reality, hosting a concrete progress celebration as construction begins on the first of 4 massive semiconductor manufacturing plants. Liz Claman is at the event in Clay, New York, with more details. Hey, Liz.
You guys, I have to tell you, this is really exciting for any business viewer, because this is an actual moment where 1,400-acre property is going to be turned into a massive memory chip fabrication plant. That's why they're calling it concrete progress, because it's been 5 years in the works. They already had a groundbreaking back in January, but today was the concrete pouring. And I wanted to show you, look at these 2 gigantic cement mixers, and they had the name Micron put on all of them. And what's really incredible about this, and just to let you know, Clay is about 10 minutes away from Syracuse, is that this is a moment where you're seeing business and politics on both sides of the aisle come together. This moment marks not only something that is going to be massive here, the largest fabrication plant for memory chips in all of the United States of America, 1 mile end to end. But it also actually marks the beginning of massive job creation. About an hour ago, CEO of Micron, Sanjay Mehrotra, spoke about how the effort began way back in 2021 with a meeting with Governor Kathy Hochul. She grew up in this area, and she talked about how in the 1970s what had been a very vibrant industrial area went bust as jobs went overseas, and how important it was for her to land the project. A chunk of money, about $6 billion, came from the Bipartisan CHIPS Act to get it started. And then Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, who has shepherded the project since President Trump was inaugurated, talked about how what started as a $100 billion project turned into, with a little urging on his behalf, with Sanjay, a $250 billion project. Here's what he said about working with Sanjay Mehrotra.
As you heard Sanjay say, we're trying to bring 40 to 50% of manufacturing of semiconductors home to America so we can take care of ourselves. This is critical capability, which also brings with it, for Micron alone, 100,000 American jobs.
9,000 permanent ones here in this Rust Belt city, which is this Rust Belt county, Onondaga. And remember, back in the day, Carrier was here. You had General Electric. They all pulled out in the 60s and 70s. General Motors was here. Those jobs went overseas or to other states like Virginia. But now you are going to have a huge job maker here. And what is it going to look like? Well, 300,000 cubic yards of cement. That's what it's going to be. And enough rebar, check this out, you guys, enough rebar to circle the earth twice. What is it eventually going to look like? Well, if we can get Chris, my cameraman, to turn over here, this is sort of a mock-up of what the first part of this project will be, the largest memory chip equipment maker. And this, of course, I mean, how beautiful is this? It's the coolest thing in the world to see, and to think that this whole area is going to turn into that. 4 of them. This is just the first. So 4 of these plants will be made here. And Micron, listen, it's taken a little bit of a hit. It's in a bear market, which is defined by 20% down from its recent high. But today it is moving up about 7%. And I think some of that has to do with the belief that there is such demand for these memory chips. Remember, they don't just go in cars and personal electronics. You know this. They go into data centers, which need tens of millions, sometimes billions of memory chips just to make a basic data center. I think they're like 1,000 to 3,000 memory chips in a car. So I think you're getting the sense of how big this project can be. And it started under a Democratic governor and the Bipartisan CHIPS Act, which, of course, President Biden had shepherded, to now President Trump and Howard Lutnick, who have dropped a lot of the regulation and red tape that had made projects like these slow down. Guess what? I'll end with this. They are 4 months ahead of schedule on the build here. Back to you.
Hey, Liz, real quick, when does it finish, and when do those jobs start rolling in that Secretary Lutnick was talking about?
The first phase, excellent question, Brian. The first phase, because you got to hold these companies' feet to the fire. We remember what happened with the Foxconn plant back in the day that never really kind of came to fruition. The Jobs right now are happening. Pipe fitters making $100,000. Pipe fitters from local areas who were out of work. So some of those construction jobs now, but 9,000 permanent jobs will be in a couple of years, and they do believe that it will be sometime around 2028, 29, and then the next 3 phases come along. So you'll have 4 of these things.
Wow. Liz, fascinating stuff. I cannot believe how much rebar it's going to use. I wonder if there's going to be any rebar left for the rest of the world. We shall see. Good stuff, Liz. Thanks very much.
Watch at 3 p.m. Eastern. We've got Sanjay Mehrotra of Micron and Howard Lutnick.
You got it. 3 p.m. Eastern. Good stuff.